So yeah, Aircrete's been something that's been really interesting to me for many years, and I've never really had the opportunity to explore it until now, or when we started this project. The reasons that I'm like really interested in Aircrete is the fact that you can kind of pour it as like a liquid into molds, and you can make bricks or other things out of it. It's also like very light, so it actually floats on water, and yeah, it's incredibly insulated for building, and it's fire resistant, and yeah, it's should be apparently more affordable than kind of building with bricks and cement and things like that. So it's just been something really interesting for me for, as I said, years. I've been wanting to also experiment with building rocket stoves with Aircrete, so making a mold and pouring Aircrete into this mold, which we might get to in time. But yeah, so over the years I've done bits of research and gone down different rabbit holes, but never really had the opportunity to really explore the whole Aircrete thing until recently, or when this project started, which was a while ago with Lulu. She wanted to do some building with Aircrete and mentioned it to me, and I thought, cool, rad, it's been something I've been wanting to fiddle with for a while. So yep, off we went, down the rabbit holes. And the main thing for me was to find a way of kind of in an open source-ish way along the lines of Simple Living Innovations to be able to make the Aircrete gun, which is essentially mixing air with soapy water or some foaming agent, like a protein foaming agent. And it was that way of making the foam that was like the biggest question mark for me. It turned out to actually be more of a chemistry lesson around Aircrete and chemistry, but we'll get to that in time. So yeah, I'm going to show you a little bit of the CAD drawing and the foamer gun mixer unit that I printed, and we'll take it from there. Cool. So yeah, this is Fusion 360, and this is essentially the little unit that I drew up and printed, but just want to show you a little bit of inside. But let me give you a bit of an overview. So the idea was, or is, that the air gets from the compressor, air goes into here, splits out of this one here into a tank of soapy water or foaming agent, protein foam, whatever you want to call it, and that air pressure pushing down will push the foaming agent out through another pipe and into this inlet here, and then that will mix with the air and come out here. So out of here will be a mixture of foaming agent or soapy water and air, and the idea is that one can mix the ratio of air and soapy water by adjusting bolts that screw into these threaded threads here. It was the first time I've ever printed threads, but it actually seems to work quite well. Let me show you inside. So if we get rid of the top layer, that's kind of what we have inside. So there you can kind of see the air canal can go through here and straight out, and then the air to deliver the pressure to push the foaming agent through will come through here and out here, and then again back in there, round there, through there, and out. So this again will be the outlet. And essentially these are like wedge-shaped things, little triangles. So as you screw the bolt down, it'll let less and less air through in these two cases, or foaming agent through there. So the idea is, again, as you tighten or loosen the bolts, as you tighten them, less will go through. As you loosen them, more will go through. I want to show you. Let's get rid of the bottom piece again and turn that cutting bodies on. So this is essentially what I drew initially, was the cutaway. So again, these are like the wedges here. You can see this wedge quite well there. And again, the bolt kind of goes down here, and as you close it, as you bolt down, it'll kind of let less and less through, because again, this is sort of the negative. I don't know if I'm explaining this well, but yeah. And so again, this is the other little wedge. So again, this will be the air coming through here, straight through, and the air through that'll pressurize the foaming agent tank will come through there, through here, again the adjusting bolt there, into the pressurizing tank, and it'll come back in here. Let me just turn it a bit so you can see better. It'll come back in here, through there, and into there. In the video initially you're going to see, let me bring those two bits back, get rid of that and add that and that. Initially you're going to see a bigger cutout here with some bolts, because that's where we put the PVC pipe with the steel wool, and that's essentially what mixes the air and the mixture of air and foaming agent together to make this shaving cream type foam. So initially, as I said, we had this cut out and the PVC pipe with the steel wool went straight in there. But on this version, we actually had a pipe coming out of here, and that goes into the PVC, what we call the wand part again, which has the steel wool. So yeah, I just wanted to show you this. This is version 4, I believe. So in the beginning of the video, we're looking at version 1. And yeah, these are just bolt holes to bolt it all together. And let me leave it at this, otherwise I'll keep rambling forever. So here we have the two printed parts. So this is the one. And yeah, this is the other here. I'm really chuffed with how it came out. I must say, I've never printed threads, but it really seems to work. I mean, these are quite big threads, but they really, yeah, they came out well. And these little plumbing fittings fit in there pretty perfectly. So yeah, essentially on this side, I've put these 3 holes here to kind of bolt it together. Those 2 holes there, there's 2 on the other side, on the other than this piece as well, over there and there, and they essentially hold the tube in there. So the piece of PVC will go in there, and those are 2 bolts, 4 bolts, 2 bolts per side. And then these 3 holes are the 8mm bolts that will actually adjust the amount of, this bolt will adjust the amount of air going through the system. This bolt will adjust the amount of air going as pressure into the bucket over there. And this last bolt will adjust the amount of foaming agent from the bucket into the stream. So if you look on the inside, you can kind of see it. And I will have shown you this on the 3D drawing and explain it a little more. So this little piece of pipe, we put a whole lot of these things in, scouring things, and then this foam squirts out the end of that. I'll probably cut this, we can cut this in half or something. Cool, so here I've got the one half, put a little bit of polyurethane sealant on. This is the other half. I'm going to now just bolt them all together like that, and that polyurethane will hopefully help it seal between the different little canals there. This is the unit now bolted together, and you can see the little threads in there. They really came out really nice, and they meet together well, so I'm just going to screw this little fitting straight in there. That bucket wasn't handling the pressure. I had underestimated, so I put this on. I think this tank thing is much better with the pressure. Lulu, wat maak ons hierso? We've just somehow got foam everywhere here. But we're trying to get the foam density right.
Yeah. It's just bumpy and just bumpy.
When I did the 1 scoop of cement and the 2.5 of water and mixed that up, it was very runny, as I said. Then I dipped this stick in, and it came up to about, I should have put some masking tape there, but about there. So then I said, okay, cool. For a 2-to-1 mix, we're going to go up foam up to there. So essentially, I squirted foam in there, and mixed it up, and yeah, got to about just under that piece of masking tape, and then I've just poured it in here, and it got up to that point. So I've marked it so that I can see how much it's dropping by. This is probably about 5 minutes, and it hasn't dropped much. So actually, it's looking very good, and you can see how looks like a matchstick. Yeah, how goopy it is there. This is our brick. It's yeah, really lekker. I like it, and this was obviously just the first one.
Alright, so we're going to do a test now. So this is 6 liters, and we're going to do a quarter bag of cement. We're going to mix it in here.
Yeah, so it was really crazy when we were doing the tests in Hout Bay. The bricks we were getting were really awesome. So we really thought we had it all figured out, and we brought it to Robertson here where Lulu's building, and yeah, suddenly we had all these flops. All the bricks were just flopping, and the foaming agent, essentially the bubbles were popping, and it was this whole thing of like, what's changed and all this, and Googling and researching and things, and it turns out it was mostly like the mineral content in the water, because they're using essentially river water that we then filtered, and it reacted with the soap or the foaming agent, whatever we used, and we were adding glycerine and all kinds of other things and neutralizers and all to try and make it better. But yeah, it was just an ongoing thing of generally the bricks just dropping and ending up with flops. So yeah, it was just amazing how much time that took, and to finally get to the realization that it's more chemical reaction thing with the water and the foaming agent or the soap that was the issue. I think there were other little learning curves as well, but yeah, it was making amazing foam. We were kind of getting the density roughly right. There are some tweaks I'll probably share a little bit later that I would do to improve it. But yeah, the essence was good. And then these are some of the result bricks that we got. Some of the better ones. Again, some of them would just suddenly drop. But it really seemed that, again, it was the minerals in the water. This is the new gun, version 4, I believe. I printed this one from ABS. I've used some epoxy just to seal it, so this one definitely, hopefully, doesn't leak. Those are the 3 adjusting bolts. I want to put a thinner pipe on here. I think this is a 20mm, but I think a 15mm will be better, because then you can actually, or should I say, the air and foam water mixture will kind of mix in with the foam more. I noticed last time we were using this that it was kind of, because the pipe's so thick, it was kind of patchy between like air and sections of, yeah, foamy froth water, whatever you want to call that stuff. So I think to downscale that to a 15mm pipe in time will be a good idea.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, and let's just stir that with a stick or anything. Okay, so for this mixture, I've put 5 liters of water in here, filtered water, because we're using, it's originally river water, so it's filtered. So 5 liters of water in there, and then I've added 200 milliliters of this biofroth protein foam. That's about just over 3%. Added that into here, mixed it up, and then I've poured that into here. So we've got 5 liters of, yeah, water and biofroth foam in there.
I think you're having on 3, huh?
I don't know. concentrating here. Spewing less than it was yesterday, but it's still spewing.
Almost.
Did it need space to expand, or?
No, if anything it drops, yeah.
No, of course, yeah.
From our experience so far, anyway. Yo, this looks nice, eh? Very consistent. Oh wow, look, hey, those, yeah.
I'll put the last bit in here.
I think leaving it a bit lower will help us when
Getting it out.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So to recap on version 4, this is kind of what we had. It's the same ABS little block. It is leaking a bit still through there, so I think in time we can figure something out there. What I'd change or improve, here we've made a thinner, slightly thinner hose pipe, but I think it's still too thick. And I think it would be cool if it's transparent, that you can see whatever's going through it, but maybe make that somewhat thinner. That's the wand there. This is the PVC pipe / wand with the stainless steel scourers in it. And I'd maybe also thin this out a little bit, these pipes, because again it gets quite blotchy with sections of foaming agent and sections of air and things like that. So yeah, I'll definitely keep you in the loop about updates as we go on this, but if you've got questions or suggestions, please do say in the comments. And yeah, I'll put any updates online in time, and I'll upload the Fusion 360 and 3D files for this too, if anyone's interested. Again, just let me know. And yeah, I think that's kind of where we're at. And yeah, I'd also be willing to share like mixes of cement to water and all of that, and the different soaps and things we've tried. So yeah, on that note, this is in South Africa, and it was quite interesting in that we couldn't find many of the sort of soaps and ingredients and stuff that people were using in the States. So it was kind of a bit of reinventing as well, because most of this sort of Aircrete stuff is from the States and stuff. So yeah, there's a bit of reinventing of all of that. And but yeah, let me leave it at this. And otherwise this video could carry on forever. Check you on the next one, and again, yeah, please like, comment, share and subscribe and all that jazz. And yeah, let me know any questions or any suggestions, and let's see where this goes. Big love.
Isn't hard against your skin.